Just think about when Polygon and Kotaku they're gonna be making these articles, and they're gonna be calling you Barky in the articles, and then the no, Barky changed the No Man's Sky subreddit to Mr. Robot.
I hope nothing like that happens.
Oh, dude,
really.
I'm surprised they haven't jumped on it already.
We're not keeping it Mr. Robot permanently. We'll probably do something else.
Just change it every week.
Yeah.
Change it every week to something new.
Probably do something else, but like I don't know. I don't want to manage the mess anymore. I want to manage the good part of the subreddit.
Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV, and here in the virtual studio in the Cobra Cave somewhere in the United States of America, I am able to connect with Barky, one of the mods for the No Man's Sky subreddit. How you doing?
Hi.
It's good to have you on. It's good to have you on. If anybody wants to ever come on the show and talk about gaming, promote your blog, promote your YouTube channel, just add me on Skype, lpoly1622. That's LPOLI 1622. There's no qualifications. You don't have to be this big time YouTuber. You could be just starting out. You can have 2 subs, 3 subs. It doesn't really matter as long as you have a passion for gaming. One of the things I want to do on Cobra TV is, I've always wanted to talk about other games, and now that No Man's Sky is released, it gives us a much broader spectrum to choose from, a lot more topics, a lot more things. But today in this episode, we are going to be talking about No Man's Sky. We're going to be talking about the hacked tweet and the emails, and we're going to be talking about the No Man's Sky subreddit a little bit, and Barky's decision and how stressful it has been for the guys over there that are trying to manage this massive community. So what I would really like to start off with is, before we get into all of that, is the hacked Twitter account, or the hacked LinkedIn rather, and just how strange that is. Now,
Yeah.
I'm on the fence here. I'm looking at the situation, and something's telling me that just something's not right. And what I mean by that is, on one hand, you have the Twitter, which is stating No Man's Sky was a mistake. Now, if you look at that could be damaging to a company, correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Right.
That's
very negative. Yeah, that's super negative.
The worst thing you can do as a gaming company.
Right. That's there. It's negative. That is believable to be a hack, someone trolling them. But what is really strange is the emails that had gone out. Now, I'm going to talk about the Polygon email in particular here. This one states, I'm going to read the email exactly here. I have contacted you because the silence from Hello Games has been unwarranted and unprofessional. The community has asked me to speak up, and I have a confession to make. The game was simply unfinished upon arrival. Our hand has been forced by not only Sony, but the community as well. The constant harassment and absolute gross misconduct on the community's part has made it hard to fulfill our artistic vision, while the pressure from Sony to release the game as soon as possible forced us to cut key features. I want to apologize for what we did not deliver on, as the game does not meet to what our artistic vision was. However, we do wish that the community was more understanding of our situation. Many people have asked for refunds despite our promise to continually improve and update No Man's Sky. We are just a small studio that has poured our blood, sweat, and tears into this project. The complete lack of respect when it comes to the work we have done absolutely saddens me. Not only myself, but the team as well. We want to improve the game to the point we dreamed of it being and beyond. I hope everyone affected understands. Sean Murray. Now, here's why I'm leaning towards they were not hacked. That this is just one big, weird, freaking thing that happened inside the studio. Because on the Twitter account, it's stating it's a negative tweet to damage the company. The email to Polygon actually attempts to make Hello Games look good and to be sympathetic towards their situation. It seems like 2 different personalities. If you have their email account, wouldn't you continue on how much of a mistake that they feel the game is? Wouldn't you tweet something like, Screw the community. We hate everybody. You know, you guys are nothing but whiny little brats. We are done.
We did our best.
We did our best. We did our best. You heard wrong. It's all your fault. The hype was all your fault. We are done. Hello Games is over with. We're leaving. Can't you see our studio's abandoned? Can't you see? You know, something like that would be a damaging email, more so than the No Man's Sky was a mistake tweet. But this email actually tries to make people sympathetic towards the company.
Yeah.
Do you see how it just doesn't match up with the hacked tweet?
Yeah. I like, at the same time I saw the hack, I just immediately thought this is definitely a hack. And you know, the problem is that like within 10 minutes of me seeing this tweet, Polygon had an article out claiming it was Sean Murray. So like I really just don't know. I don't know. Like, I have no idea.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and I've been gaming for a long time, and I have been anticipating certain games coming out. I've followed the development, you know, of certain games. I've been let down. We've all been let down, especially when AAA companies, they come out with a game, you know, and it seems finished to us, but then what's the season pass for if it's a finished game? But that's my own personal opinion, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was a hack tweet, but it did, the email... Sorry if I'm stuttering. The email that seems genuine, and as you said, we've all been burnt out on games before. We've all been hyped and disappointed. That email sounded a lot more genuine than I thought it was.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't read it myself, so I haven't read it, to be perfectly honest. I was really busy when this thing blew up, and you know, I've been busy ever since, which is why the post that changed the subreddit to Mr. Robot wasn't made by me, because I was kind of on the back end of things and just saw things happen from that point of view. So
right, yeah. I find it, you know, okay. Sean Murray actually said the emails. Well, he didn't actually say the emails were hacks. Hello Games Twitter page said the emails were also a hack. So they're not even claiming the email. And the one to Forbes was actually a disgruntled employee made the tweet. So it was a completely different, and that one was not signed by Sean Murray. Let's say it's not a tweet. Let's say drunk.
Drunk, yeah.
Right, drunk. Maybe they're drunk and they're drinking in their sorrow, you know? I mean, come on. Yeah, some of the stuff is
chilling in their sports cars and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Some of the stuff that's coming out, and the reason why I say some is I see a lot of death things, a lot of racist things. I don't know how people are bringing racist remarks into No Man's Sky, but it's happening, and I'm like, that doesn't even fit. Why are you doing that? But you know, some of that stuff is unwarranted towards any person, but some of the disappointment and negative feedback is warranted, right? But imagine if you're a person, no matter how much money you've got, no matter how much money, you still have emotions. I mean, you can sit there and count your cabbage all you want, but it's still gonna kind of sting. I don't know.
I have to be very careful about saying stuff like that, because people will tell me that I'm paid off by Hello Games and I'm trying to protect Sean and, you know, all this other rubbish. But I perfectly sympathize with that. I can imagine that because he was the face of a lot of the marketing, a lot of the hate must be directed towards him and not the other aspects of Hello Games. And I'm unsure about how much they deserve it, because, you know, I was on the hype train, but I wasn't crazy on the hype train. I wasn't sticking to everything. So it's like, he's probably on the receiving end of, I'd say, most of the hate.
Right.
I'd say most of it, just because he is the face of Hello Games. Like,
but he's the one who said it all, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about the developers that were working with him, and you know, they're hearing him say all this stuff, and they're like,
"Oh shit!"
Right? You know, it's like maybe it was in the game. Maybe they took it all out for whatever reason. Maybe it didn't work. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they planned to put it in there, but they overshot. I don't know.
You know, I watched like, if you go on the Steam store page or whatever, and you look at the trailers, they're completely different to the main game. Like, to the point where they don't look like the same game. Maybe the weapon that he's holding, but I mean, you've seen on the Steam page, and I'll go look at it now, you can see the sandworm. that people talk about and Star Citizen made fun of them for and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you know, the fact that it exists, like, they should probably take that video down. You know, like, try and do some damage control, because what they're doing right now is the worst form of damage control that any company could ever do.
Yeah.
And that's just to stay quiet about something, you know, that's in your face.
That's horrible. That is horrible. I mean, I know that whatever they say is going to be responded with a bunch of backlash, but at least there's text. Like I was telling somebody else in another call, if they had well, for one, they should have said something before the game was released that they had cut a lot of stuff. Number two, they should have text on their blog saying, guys, we know something bad happened. We're working hard to try and fix most of it for you.
Exactly.
Right. So that way, all the lies, all the live videos and things like that, people could just redirect back to that and say, okay, well, was it a lie or was it unprofessionally prepared? You know, but what's done is done. I'm still stuck on the difference between the Twitter tweet and the email.
Right.
It does not seem like it's the same person with the same intentions. It seems completely different.
It does seem pretty different, yeah. But at the moment, as I said, I'm still unsure. But the email that he sent does seem like a genuine thing to say, and for that opinion to be had, like, we tried. Sony cut out a lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That sounds like something a gaming company would say, who were genuinely under scrutiny for some things.
So you think, okay, emotionally distraught, he got pissed off, goes over to Twitter and types, No Man's Sky was a mistake, right? Then he goes, oh shit. So then he goes and he emails Polygon. Polygon's big, you know. Maybe somebody's replying to an email from Forbes saying, disgruntled employee, right? And Sean's over there typing this long letter, telling the truth, and then when he sends it, someone's saying, but you just threw Sony under the bus. You just threw some of the community under the bus. Although I do have to say that as a community, we were a little bit too pushy with the release date. Remember that? Remember the June jokes and the
definitely.
August jokes? You know, I mean, he would come out and say, guys, it's really nice outside. You see how blue the sky is. When are you releasing your game? You know, it's like, so
that's always pretty bad.
I know, man. But there's that. I can see him being able to say that, you know, we were pressure too, because, you know, we were. I'll admit that. But that's not a reason to release a half-finished game.
Yeah, I think it's good to think along those lines. Like, maybe the community did push him a bit, but at the same time, you know, don't make things that you can't meet. And especially when you're promising a game this vast, and, you know, that the quote about the periodic table, that they had to change the periodic table to change the skull of the, oh my god, I'm sorry, going crazy. I'm just too sick right now. There's this quote where he says he has to change the periodic table to change the color of the sky, and that the engineers at Hello Games had to do this.
Right.
And I just think, you know, where on earth did you draw the line with that statement? Because that is so far gone. I'm just trying to look for the official quote now, but that is so far gone, and it's so out of your scope that I just have no idea what you were thinking, what the devs were thinking when you said that, stuff like that. Like, that to change the way that the particles are diffused to change the color of the sky on some planets. It's just ridiculous, and it just makes me think that's just one of the things they said. And when you're releasing a game that is so hyped, and, you know, before the game was released, like in the last week before it was released, he was saying, I'm worried about what people will think, etc., etc. So you could see it was kind of getting to him.
Yeah.
You know, he knew that things were not going to go as planned. And then when it released, it was just a complete shit show, really. And
it could have all been avoided if he was just communicating.
Exactly. It could have been avoided if he said a few weeks before, like, guys, we're trying to work on some things, but they're probably going to be cut. You know, people would be angry, but it wouldn't be at the level they are now.
Right.
After, like, a first week, maybe, he could say, a lot of stuff got cut, we're working on the patch. But zero communication is the worst. And obviously, I saw a finance report that Hello Games published
Yeah.
where they earned about 40 million in revenue, not including refunds, which, you know, is a big deal because Steam was allowing refunds under 8 hours, apparently. So they probably got a ton of refunds. But it's just so bad. It's so, like, and I can imagine that it would affect him on a very personal level. Like, yeah, I've been the face of this game for 2 years, 3 years. You know, and maybe it just got to him, so he just ran to his computer and just made this tweet. But as I said, I'm unsure of who it was. I've received quite a few death threats because I made an official post saying this was an official tweet, but it was deleted within minutes. Sean Murray just confirmed it himself. First communication since 18th of August. The account was actually hacked, according to him.
You received death threats.
Yeah, I received tons of death threats. There's 32 reports on my comment, which is quite a lot, saying change the flare, change your comment. This is stupid. You're misleading people. It wasn't hacked. It wasn't hacked. It was him.
Wow.
Stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. It gets to the point where, you know, I got to be very careful with what I say all the time in this subreddit. I mean, I don't care too much, really. Like, you can send me death threats because...
So people were mad that you were saying that they were hacked?
People were incredibly angry at me because they were convinced that I was trying to defend Sean Murray and the tweet, when that wasn't the case at all.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They were convinced that I was trying to defend Hello Games, Sean Murray, and, you know, there's, you know, maybe like 1% of the... No, way less than that, actually. Maybe like 20 people in the subreddit think I'm genuinely working for Hello Games.
Wow.
So it really, like, appeased those people, like the worst kind of people in the subreddit. I mean, I love most of the people in the subreddit. They're, like, genuinely funny. Like, a lot of the posts that reach the front page are funny posts. They're not
I know.
retarded.
So you're what do you think? You think they were hacked or not? You think this was actually them and they're just covering up their tracks saying they were hacked?
I'm on the fence because the tweet came through the LinkedIn profile. So they used the LinkedIn app
there's
to
that.
send the
There's
tweet.
that. They would probably have to gain access to the email to get the LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, so they must have had...
I just don't...
They probably had the same password for the LinkedIn as they did for someone's email because they spoke about the LinkedIn not having 2FA, two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
And that obviously means they didn't use their phone. So it probably had the same email, same password for LinkedIn as a company email. How Sean Murray emailed these guys, I have no idea. That's where I think, well, maybe it could be him, you know, having a bad day. And I don't know. The problem is that the real issue with that is that they made this huge mess now with this email, everything. And they made it even worse by not responding properly about it.
I know. They respond with a joke.
Yeah.
No, man. You communication is key to your consumers, not to your fans, to your consumers. Okay, yeah. Communication. And you haven't talked to anybody. I mean, yeah, you've been posting patch notes and things like that. And you said, you know, it's important what we do now, not what we say. And I get all that. I get all that. I can see, I can understand their reasoning for thinking quiet is better. Don't say anything until there's...
That's because everything they say, people will just bite their heads off.
I know, yeah. I
understand them hiding.
I understand why they're keeping quiet, but I don't think it's right.
No, it's definitely not. The problem is that a lot of people say, well, they don't want to talk because if they do speak, they'll get their heads cut off by the community. But
they're already getting their heads cut off.
Whose fault is that? You could have completely avoided... Okay, first of all, you could have avoided all of this 3 years ago by not overpromising. And second of all, you could have avoided all of this 4 months ago by just talking, saying, listen, you know, just dulling down the hype a bit.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, they got more refunds from people who were disappointed with the game than they would have gotten by saying 4 months ago, some features are cut. Sorry, guys, this is not going to be everything you wanted, but we're going to work on it after release. And that's just key to the way I think about the game. And you know, a lot of people are like, dead game, but they're like 5% of people still playing the game every day, you know, just enjoying their time. So
My God, it is a mess. I mean,
it's very painful. It's very painful to see how the numbers have dropped. It's at 300 players right now. So.
It is. You know, what, over the years covering the game, people have made all this, and I was talking about this in a video that people made fun of me because I was a little bit emotional because, you know, there's a lot to be emotional about. You know, I mean, this is a game we've all dreamed that it would be the game that we've always been waiting for. We got behind a passionate team of developers.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot riding on this. It was more than just a game we were supporting. We were supporting a team of people who wanted to innovate the industry and stick it to AAA. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's something that people bought into the idea of, and they wanted to support more than just the game. And that's
right.
A big deal.
And so I have thousands of pictures of people's fan art that I've shared in my videos where people would tweet them at me and I'd feature them at the end of the videos. I'm sure you've seen it before. And, you know, I was looking through them one day and I'm just, every pen stroke, every ink stroke, every pencil mark, you know, every Photoshop thing, it really hurt me to see all of those people angry,
right?
You know, and let down. And, you know, I'm not going to bring up the tattoo guy. Yeah. That poor guy. I hope he still loves the game. I really do.
Let's just hope he plays the game.
Yes. You know, and you know, I you know, there are parts of the game that can be liked, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's beautiful. My God, it's beautiful. But it takes a long time for you to realize how much has been removed from the game. You could read about it, and then you could go and play it, and you think. I remember, I travel for my job, so I work a lot. You know, I'm away from home a lot,
right?
So I wasn't able to play it as fast and as much as everybody else was at the start. And I remember coming home, and I'd have a few hours, and I'd play it, and I'm seeing all these posts where people are like, "Cobra, this game sucks. Cobra, they lied to us," and I'm sitting there playing, and I'm on a planet, and I'm thinking to myself, how can you guys not like this? This is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
So, but it takes you a while, and then you realize, and I'm sorry to my whole community and anybody else that has listened in the past, that it took me so long to be able to sit down and agree with a lot of you.
Yeah, exactly. I really enjoyed the first 5 hours. I really did. It was the 6th and 7th hour that, you know, I was arriving at my like 5th planet, and I was like, whoa, this is exactly the same. And, you know, even then, that's a relatively short time for people to start not enjoying the game. You know, some people say like took 20 hours and all that, and, you know, fair enough to them, that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, the worst thing you can do for this game is to watch the trailers beforehand and read the articles and stuff like that, to read any pre-release articles and all that, because like I'm looking at the trailer right now, and
it's sad. It really is sad. And I don't know. Okay, there are people out there that do enjoy it, and I heard your comment on your video, saying that kind of disturbed you a bit. There are people out there that are not gamers, and I know this game attracted like 55-year-old people, man. I have some. There's a woman on my. She plays it all the time. She's like 60 something,
right?
And she's one of my subscribers. And these people are not gamers. They don't care about DLC. They don't care about upgrade this or upgrade that. These are people that wanted an ambient experience. And once they found out there was like a heavy crafting element into the game, a lot of these people were starting to get pissed off because they didn't want that. You know, they didn't want a survival game. They wanted a game where they could just fly around and get out and go on planets and stuff like that. Those, I find, are the people that are enjoying this game. They're not gamers.
Yeah,
you know,
just people looking for a decent experience.
They want to exist in something like in the movie What Dreams May Come, living inside a painting, you know, or existing inside a beautiful landscape and just chilling out. That's one group of people that are still enjoying the game, and the second group, and I say this loosely because some of them are even getting bored too. is people that didn't follow the game beforehand, didn't even know about it until the game was released, and they ended up purchasing it. I work with one of those people,
Right.
and he was playing it a lot longer than most people, and he got a lot more enjoyment out of it because he didn't know what was promised, he didn't know what was missing, but still he ended up getting pretty bored with it because he is a gamer. One of his favorite games he's always talking about is Call of Duty. So I'm really surprised that he did play it for as long as he did. But people that got behind this game, they are gamers, and they have played games before. They know what to expect with a game, and they've listened to the interviews, and they followed it. Those people are really hurt. And I know I'm using the word hurt because that's exactly what I'm seeing is hurt. I'm seeing anger.
To explain it.
The hurt's turned into anger, and I think it's because Hello Games just isn't talking. And
that's definitely what happens when you see something that what I consider to be a passion project, and this is very much a passion project that people didn't buy into the game. They bought into the idea of this amazing game, and I was one of those people who followed the game with these things. So when I saw the game came out, obviously I was reading every article. It's like, hey, this is the skipped stuff. One of the top posts on Reddit actually is, hey, Hello Games, where are these features? And it's just this, the several paragraph long post about how many features are not in the game.
Yeah.
And, I read that and then I played it because I did own the game. And immediately my enjoyment was dulled, incredibly so, to the point where I was like, well, just on a basis that these things are missing, I'm gonna enjoy the game less. And obviously that is not the correct way to play a game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
But that limited my fun. Just knowing that knowledge limited my fun. And as big of a shame that is, I am very happy for the people you described, the people who are just looking for an ambient experience, to have fun with that. In my video, I didn't say that I was weirded out by these people or anything like that. What I meant was that I'm weirded out by the people who play the game still, but adamantly defend Hello Games. That's the
okay.
That's the biggest thing. I don't mind if you love the game. I'm very happy for you if you enjoy the game, actually, because it is fun sometimes. But the people who feel the need to defend Hello Games to the death, they irritate me. Because there is no reason. There's no you can love the game,
right?
But there's no reason to defend a dev who does what Hello Games do.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of the times too, comments like they've abandoned it, they're not working on it. Those are triggers to respond by saying, well, they're millionaires. They probably bought a new studio. Right. They're not working out of an old car
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they live in a garage pretty much.
Yeah. And they're not working on it. Well, if you have the Steam app, you can see that they're updating the internal branch, seems like every other day now or every 4 days.
They're putting out updates. So they're definitely doing work on the project.
Yeah. It's not the things that they're doing. I don't think are being implemented. We're still on 1.9, right? 1.09.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the updates.
I think so. I hope if I'm wrong, somebody will correct me. But they're updating that internal testing branch so much. So they're definitely working on something. So you could see that there's activity there in the wherever they're at.
If you ever check Steam database, you'll see that they're putting out few updates every now and then. So that's nice. I mean, anyone who says they've abandoned the game, that's not true.
Right. But that's I think a lot. That's what starts the arguments. Someone says they abandoned it. No, they haven't. You can see that they're working, and then all of a sudden, quit supporting Hello Games. Then it's F you. Then all of a sudden,
get into a fight.
It
about
just
nothing.
Catches on fire. So, and speaking of catching on fire, I want to talk about when the No Man's Sky subreddit shut down, and then you stepped in. Tell me a little bit about that and what happened surrounding that.
It was absolutely insane. I got a message from the admin saying that the subreddit was shut down, and I had no idea about what was happening. This was past the point that I'd refunded the game. I was done with the subreddit and Hello Games and No Man's Sky, not because I hated them or anything, just because I didn't enjoy the game. And I got a message from the admin saying that they need someone who has experience with dealing with toxic communities, because I've dealt with another one called Arrow.
What is
so they
that?
brought me in. Arrow is a TV show. It was
The Green Arrow?
Yeah, the Green Arrow.
All right.
It just got bad reviews. It's a bit childish in hindsight, but yeah. And besides that, I also have a lot of experience on Reddit, just moderating communities that have divides in them. So I was, of course, perfectly okay with taking over. I don't mind. I'm not doing this for some exterior motive or anything like that. I just wanted to help out.
Right.
And, I opened the floodgates of just a huge shitstorm that in my face. Like, I can't explain how it was, but it was absolutely insane. I wouldn't say stressful, but I just got so many messages with people, like threatening me with saying I'm being paid off. I've got a pretty thick shell when it comes to most stuff, and that I don't let it affect me too much.
Yeah.
So this is just really weird, and I was just like brushing it off, like, what's wrong with you people? It's a video game. It's a video game. And then I saw how passionate people are about the game, and I played Dota, which is this if you don't know what Dota is, it's a very competitive.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw the most passionate fans when I dealt with Dota fans. Nope. not even close. I used to play League of Legends. Even that is tame compared to No Man's Sky. So yeah, I came in, took over. He asked me to, Sporkside, the admin, asked me to help him find some new moderators. I brought in a few people, which queued the next shitstorm, and that was, more people that I brought in that were paid by Hello Games and stuff. And
oh wow.
There were like 4 big moments in me moderating the subreddit, and this has been in 3 weeks. I've only been here for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And the first one was me being instated. That was a pretty big deal. I got lots of people. I think I tried to cull it pretty effectively though. I made a few subreddit update posts, and I was like, I don't censor negative stuff as long as it's not just shit, then it's fine.
Right.
And then the second one was me bringing on the new moderators. That was a big deal. A lot of people had an issue with it because one of the moderators had only had his Reddit account for like 3 months. People weren't happy with that. But, I had faith in this guy, and he's been really good. Probably the best moderator I have is Tony Towers. Anyways, and then the third one was this questionnaire that I put out. And in the questionnaire, there was an option to say, what would you like the subreddit to do? And it was censor nothing at all, censor shitposts, not censor stuff, remove all shitposts, or would you want us to remove all negative stuff until it was like Monday, have like a set day for negative stuff? And I put that in thinking no one would vote for it, because that's just goes against what I do as a moderator, and I just wanted to get the community opinion. That was a big mistake. I'll admit. It was a big mistake to ask people, would you want me to censor this? But to my surprise, about 20% of the people on the subreddit wanted me to remove any negative posts about the game. And I had that option there, but that was never going to be something I was going to do. But I can totally understand why people thought I was caving in to Hello Games. So suddenly this 5% of people on the subreddit who think I'm being paid off, they suddenly have this extra motivation to have this idea that I'm being paid off, even more than that, because of this questionnaire.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous. And then the fourth and final big upset in the subreddit was a few days ago. The fifth one's probably yesterday with this Mr. Robot thing, but the one before that was me saying the silence is deafening, and it reached the front page of Reddit, got on top of all. And it was just me calling out Hello Games saying, enough is enough. We've waited long enough. We know you read Reddit. You're probably reading this, so please respond to us. And nothing. So yeah,
wow.
That's my entire experience moderating this place. And as much as I genuinely enjoy the people in the subreddit, I can't sympathize with the people who adamantly defend Hello Games, obviously the people who say Sean Murray is cancer in every thread, and you deal with those people, but the people who defend Hello Games just to the point, to the brink, it just irritates me. That's the worst. Those are the people who I don't get in fights with, but those are the worst people I have to deal with on the subreddit. The people who think I should be removing any form of criticism towards the game. And if you look on the front page, it's mostly criticism towards the game.
I think criticism is important, especially in the No Man's Sky subreddit, because it's the biggest group out there for consumers and fans of No Man's Sky. And I think that if there's complaining that needs to be done, it should be done there. Because, exactly. It's not literally part of Hello Games, but it kind of is an extension.
It's a very big leg.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of anything that Hello Games does is mirrored in the subreddits. And, the minute they tweeted, it reached the front page of Reddit. The minute they tweeted, it got put up on the subreddit, people voted it up instantly. Within an hour, it had 4,000 upvotes.
Yeah.
People want a reaction. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. But I think people need to have that forum to be able to voice their opinion. And, the people that defend Hello Games, I haven't seen too much actual defending, they didn't lie or anything like that. I have seen, they're working on it. And I think that's a very valid defense,
right?
Because we know that they are. And the fact that they are working on it means that, come on, man. I really think that they have to, in my opinion, they're going to come out swinging, all right, with an update.
You think so?
I do, but I think it's going to be too late.
Right.
I don't think it's going to matter. But again, I sit here and I think about it all the time, and I think it's not going to matter. But look at that No Man's Sky was a mistake tweet. Instant news, man. Instant news everywhere.
Yeah, people they want to agree with you. That's the biggest thing you need to know, that people genuinely want to agree with your opinion, in that they're going to come out swinging. They want to see this game be what it could be, because the engine is good.
We're consumers. We're consumers. We're owed it.
You want the best.
We're owed it. They owe it to us.
It's not that I disagree with you, because I try to keep a very neutral stance on not Hello Games, but the game itself. And as I want the game to be great. A lot of people on the subreddit think I dislike the game, or I dislike the idea of it, and that's not true.
No.
I want it to be great, but at the same time, criticism is what makes bad things good, and what good things great. And if we don't have criticism, we won't know what's wrong with it. And if you don't think that the game has any glaring issues, then that's fine. That's your opinion. But people who defend the game saying they communicate enough, but I'm looking at this one guy on Reddit. I won't say his username, but I'm literally talking to him last night. He put up a post saying choice quotes from Barkey's latest video. And I have a YouTube channel, but I'm not a big YouTuber. I just put my opinions on there. I don't expect them to be taken and crucified by some people. Not that I mind, again, because this guy is saying that the subreddit's gone to hell. It's because the mods don't care about the game. They hate the game. Hello Games has been talking enough. You fan the flames of negativity against Hello Games. They have been communicating with us the entire time. They put out updates daily. Now, fair enough.
I believe they have been communicating. Okay, the patch notes, the thing beforehand saying that what's important now is what we do now rather than what we say, and little communications here and there, but it's not directing. It's not being direct to your consumer base about why people are upset. The reason why I want to say it might be too late when they come out swinging, and then I'm also sometimes I'm like, nah, it's not going to be too late, is because of that tweet today or the other day, yesterday, whatever day it was. And it's because of that, because when they do come out swinging, if they come out swinging, it's going to be sudden. It's going to be an impact. Everyone's going to care because we're all waiting on every little button he pushes on the internet right now.
Anything that they do, the eyes of the internet are on them. And
I am going to state I do like the game. And even though I've already gotten bored, there was one time I was sitting there playing it, right? And I asked my wife if she was still watching Netflix, and she's like, no. So I got on the game. I think it was like 20 minutes in. I put it down, turned off the PS4, and she's like, why'd you quit playing? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I got bored. But, with that in mind, every other day I get this itch to play it. I turn it on, I go cruise around for a little while and
just chill.
Just chill. It's kind of fun to do that. But at the same time, I want to state that I do like the game, but I don't like the fact that they promise things that aren't in it. And the thing that bugs me the most is the lack of communication about those problems to its consumers.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on No Man's Sky, and that's where I stand on Hello Games. I'm not one of those furious people. I'm not one of those people saying I will not support them even if they come out with updates and fix the game. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that I have hope that this is going to turn around. But I don't know if it will. I mean, I hope what they're working on is actually going to be good.
I'm glad that you do have that opinion, though, because it's good to have some faith in anything. It's not good to write off. It's not good to write off an entire group of people just because the overwhelming majority will.
Yeah, and I understand. You got to be careful what you say because you're paid off by Hello Games. You're working for.
It's either get paid off by Hello Games or I hate Hello Games. Or, either's worse because I haven't really stated my opinion too strongly in either way, and I don't hate them and I don't like them. I'm very neutral, which is good for me being a moderator, I think. But some people really hate that. That's okay.
I don't think people really even hate him. I think people just really fucking. Oops. I think I tried not to curse on my show, but I got a potty mouth.
Don't worry, man.
It's like I think people are just really upset. They're really pissed.
Yeah.
Really pissed.
Yeah. Especially as I said, that it's an idea that people bought into. It's much more than a game.
Yeah.
And Sean Murray knows that.
Yeah.
A lot of people know that.
So, what are you hoping that the outcome is going to be?
My optimistic hope.
Yes, your optimistic non-Hello Games paid hope for the future of No Man's Sky subreddit. Well, first I want to talk about the Mr. Robot. The whole theme of the whole No Man's Sky subreddit changed. I don't think we got into that too deep. The fact that the first thing that Sean Murray tweeted in a long time was a joke, and it was a joke about Mr. Robot, and you guys completely changed the No Man's Sky subreddit to Mr. Robot subreddit. Jeez.
This all stems from I made a post the other day saying that the silence is too much, and I'm gonna keep this post up until Sean Murray makes an official tweet off his account or off the Hello Games account.
Oh my gosh.
So, I made it thinking he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I really, really was under the impression that they would not contact me after the first day, because there was no way in hell that they didn't see this post.
Right.
Because it reached the front page of Reddit, as I said, and it's on the No Man's Sky subreddit, which used to be a official support form for Hello Games. Used to list it in their support section. Now they've removed it. I can understand why, but it used to be there.
Oh, they removed it?
Yeah, they removed it.
Oh, man.
Then he tweets out a joke about Mr. Robot, and the moderators, we have a chat on Discord. And that was just the worst. I mean, I'm putting it lightly, but that was the worst thing they could have done. The worst way to handle this whole situation is to make a joke about it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's good that, I mean, what's worse is probably not communicating at all and just leaving it up. That would have been pretty bad. But second worst is joking about it, especially at a time like this when the community is incredibly angry.
Right.
And the tweet, it wasn't something light, you know what I mean, man? It was something pretty heavy-handed, saying that the game was a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that is not... You know, hackers don't usually do that. They'll be like, Hello Games is gay, or something, you know, like really dumb like that.
Yeah, or change everything to Poodle Corp icons and stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's not something that's like... almost like philosophical. Like, oh, we've wasted our 3 years on this game. Just the worst time he could have made a joke was at that time.
Yeah.
And so the moderators just took that, and we kind of just turned around. I had very little to do with the Mr. Robot thing, surprisingly.
Really?
Much less than people think. I said to them, okay, he tweeted out, we gotta change this to something else. Ask the subreddit if they want it, because that's a big thing. I don't want to do it without other people wanting it. And then another moderator said, well, instead of Star Citizen, because that was my idea, we'll change it to Mr. Robot to support Hello Games in their binge. And yeah, so that's
as a joke.
As a joke, yes, of course, as a joke.
Because it would have been much cooler as a Star Citizen subreddit.
Yeah. Obviously, this is temporary. We're not going to keep it as a Mr. Robot subreddit, but I've got some good friends who moderate the Mr. Robot subreddit. So the CSS was incredibly easy to do. There were no heavy hooks, which is something that's like the CSS is linked to the link at the top. There was not many things like that, luckily. But besides that, we just changed it. It was going to be Star Citizen. I'm relatively happy that we went with Mr. Robot instead.
Have you noticed any drops in subs since you did that?
We've actually increased a bit.
Oh, yeah?
But we've been losing subs at about 5 a day for the past... For the past 3... Since the game came out, we've been losing about 5 to 10 a day.
Wow. So
today was the first day we've increased since I've been a mod here, and, you know, since 3 months ago. Which is, you know, very pleasant. Not that I mind too much, because most people are just here for the drama anyways.
Yeah, you think people made accounts just because of that? I mean,
Probably.
in the past?
Yeah, probably. We have an anti-spam filter on the subreddit, which filters out anybody with less than a certain amount of karma. And yesterday was the biggest one that we had. I probably had about 300 to 400 reports of the spam filter, and you know, it's just insane. Really crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, I think people are subscribing now to kind of see what the subreddit will become, and that it won't become what it used to be before the game. It'll never be that again.
Not even if they fix it, you think?
Oh no, definitely. If they fix it, yeah. If they fix it, then we'll switch it back. I'll force it to be back. But I'm talking about on behalf of the people who use the subreddit. They'll never let it become a screenshot form kind of thing. Because if you go to any of the smaller subreddits, most of the stuff are screenshots. Like if I go to No Man's High, it's very, very screenshot heavy. In fact, all the posts that I see are screenshots, except for the moderator's post at the top. And that's okay, you know, but I don't think the people in this subreddit are interested in that becoming what the subreddit is. It's nothing to do with what I can do, because I could, you know, force my hand at that, but I like to see what the community takes it. And it's just funny to me, you know, I'm not trying to sound like a childish person, but the Mr. Robot thing was genuinely funny to me. Yeah.
It kind of was, you know, because I don't know, man. I kind of felt that it was a little disrespectful that we haven't heard from them for a while, and then the first response was just a careless joke about the situation.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the subreddit, not what he said.
No, I know. So you know, I think what you guys did was hilarious.
Right.
You know, as soon as I seen that, I was just like, oh my god. I'm like flagging my wife over. I'm like, look what they did because of the tweet. Oh man, it's such a mess, dude.
It is definitely.
I feel for everybody, every single person, no matter where your stance is. But you have a YouTube channel.
It's just been crazy. I do have a YouTube channel. Yeah.
What do you do on it? Besides, you know, I've only seen the one video. What do you do gameplays? What do you do there?
So for my YouTube channel, it's just something that I formed a while ago. I do a lot of tutorials for RimWorld, which is just this game that I love, and a lot of other stuff. It's a very opinion-based place, but it gives me like an avenue to, I'm sure you know the feeling, but it gives me an avenue to kind of filter out the things I want to talk about publicly and the things that I don't want to do that, you know, like the things I want to talk about privately.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about my YouTube channel is that I can talk about things that are important to me at the time that are relevant to other people. So with the current post, I speak about what the moderators were saying behind the scenes, and I talk about the whole thing. I said, like, I want to change the subreddit into something else because I don't want to support Hello Games in this movement and a whole lot of other reasons that add up. Obviously I don't talk about the Mr. Robot thing because that was a very last minute, and I mean like 10-minute change.
Yeah.
But you know, I get to speak about what happens behind the scenes with me and all that, and it's pretty cool. The latest video just blew up completely. I'm a tiny YouTuber. I don't know why people even subscribe, but
it all starts tiny. You know, and then it fluctuates, so
yeah. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just gameplays and little tutorials and just opinion stuff. Most of the time it is just gameplay, me talking about current stuff.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, it's just fun.
I'll definitely link that down below, directly under the probably the first or second line on the description, so that people can go and check you out.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
When you've messaged me, I didn't think it was you.
Really?
That's why when I replied, it was more of a joke. Like, I was thinking, you know, this guy's used his account in a year. How could it be the real Cobra?
The guy hasn't what? Oh, I haven't used
account in a year. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I mean, I looked at your profile and I saw like the last post was 12 months ago. Well, not the last post, but quite a few posts were 12 months ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very used account, so I just figured you. I just didn't think it was you, not because of the way you spoke or anything, just because of your.
You thought you were being trolled or something?
Well, I've gotten a lot of people who interview me, and it turns out they're like Hello Game apologists kind of thing, and you know, I'm not interested in talking to someone who's very biased, because I'm not a biased person. So the interview will just fall flat pretty quickly.
Yeah. So
I'm interested in talking to you and other people who can prefer a way, but can understand other ways around it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest deal, because that's how I try to be as a person generally. I perfectly understand other people's opinions. You know, some people just can't have that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm pissed, I'm angry, I'm sad, and I'm optimistic, you know? It's like, I think I need a shrink, but
It's good to be optimistic, though. I hope that Hello Games breaks out swing in and just, you know, hits a home run straight away.
I think they will. I really do. But if they're releasing just an update with just building and freighters, put a nail in it, dude, because it's like, come on, no.
Or just like 20 kilobyte update, and let's just update some text on the main menu.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a 20 kilobyte update, and all it does is change the update from 1.9 to 1.10.
Right. I hope they don't wait till like the first of the year. You know, see, like, if they were communicating, they could be like, hey guys, this next update we're gonna put the rings around the planets. Hey guys, this next update you'll be able to see each other. You know, little by little, make it easier work on them instead of trying to finish everything and try and patch it in all at once. You know, just little things here and there. Just use the list that's on Reddit. Missing features. and just start at the top of the line.
Yeah, start
just
at the top and slowly go down, you know?
One at a time, man. I'd be okay with that. Oh, gosh. Oh.
That would be interesting to see if they use that list as a reference.
Yeah.
Because it's an incredibly well-written list. You know, it provides sources and all that.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of reading time went into that list.
Definitely. Dude, it has been interesting talking to you. I've had a blast. It's fun to be able to talk to somebody who shares the same disappointment and also doesn't ridicule me for liking parts of the game.
No, definitely. It's been awesome to talk to you too.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Like I said, I'll put your channel down below. You got any closing statements you want to make to the Reddit community or anything?
Probably the biggest thing is that the Mr. Robot theme is temporary. We don't know how long it'll last, but it's not the end of the subreddit, so please don't think that. We're not trying to shut it down again or anything similar to that. And yeah, message me if you guys want to talk. I enjoy hearing from you.
Awesome.
But yeah, thank you very much, dude. Awesome to talk to you.
Yeah, definitely. And I wish the best for you, and I hope it becomes a little bit less stressful. I've seen good things ever since you took control. I mean, even though it's probably still not a very, maybe it's still a little bit like Mos Eisley, you know, and maybe
not too pro No Man's Sky right now.
But you know, when you did take it over, I did see a little positive change. You know, you were doing some kind of like promote yourself Fridays or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Which
we're bringing that back. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. I thought that was pretty interesting. I saw a lot of people posting stuff in there, and I thought it was kind of cool. But you know, I mean, you're doing your best, and I appreciate that, even though you're catching a lot of flack for some of the decisions you're making. But man, just hang in there, and
thank you.
I know you guys can pull it through. You guys have been. Is it all this? Is there anybody from the old crew at all on still modding?
In the moderator team? No. The admin told me not to bring on anyone from the last team. There were a few. I think 3 of them applied.
Yeah.
Because they wake up and they see, oh, I've just been removed. What happened?
Oh my gosh.
And that sucks. I genuinely feel sympathy for those people. I'd be genuinely annoyed too if I woke up and I found out that all the moderators were removed because of the head mod just going behind my back and doing stuff. But at the same time, bringing in a moderator from the old team is just, it's too much right now.
Kind of reminds me of like one of those mafia movies.
Yeah.
It does.
It was so more overly dramatic than it should have been, really. Like that's the biggest issue that I have, that people took a small thing and just took it too far. But now it's okay. I can't change what the majority of the sub want, and that is they don't like No Man's Sky and Hello Games. I can't change their opinion, but I'm gonna do the best that I can to always make sure that everyone's opinion is heard fairly. That's the biggest deal.
Yeah, definitely.
And by that, I'm gonna be removing the idiots who just spam waves and waves of pages on everyone's post saying that Sean Murray should die, and all that unnecessary stuff. Like,
it's horrible.
Saying someone should die is heavy.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to ever say that.
Definitely. Bad.
Especially when it's a video game. It's like, really, man.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Barky.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go ahead and close it off here. And, man, stay in touch, dude. If you ever want to come on the show, all you got to do is just give me a message on Skype, or you can have me on Facebook, Twitter, things like that. Or I don't log into my Reddit account very much, as you can see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, stay in touch. You ever want to come on and talk about something, shoot the crap about, some random game, or, discuss what's going on with your YouTube channel, I'd be more than happy to have you on.
Thank you so much, dude. It's been awesome to talk to you.
All right, Barky.
Hope you have a good day.
You too.
See ya.
All right.